we're talking about taxes. No, they're not really not that bad. There's some work though. So we're going to talk about taxes. Excuse me, sorry, cat, little man. He's a good purr. Yep. Before we talk about the taxes, I'm going to just give you my own little take of what I saw with the webinar / town hall meeting, whatever, where you had a chance to meet or see the new CEO of Teachers Pay Teachers, because they are now owned by IXL. Stay tuned. Hello, if you are new or returning, welcome. My name is Lori Ann, and we're going to be talking Teachers Pay Teachers and any other teacher side hustle income and what you do with as far as claiming your income. It doesn't matter if you've made $1, $1 on Teachers Pay Teachers or Boom or Etsy or Classful made by teachers, any of them. $1, you need to be claiming your tax. You need to be claiming it. Okay? It sounds so silly, but my first year selling on Teachers Pay Teachers, I only sold for about 4 months. April, August, September, October, November. No, 5 months. 5 months was less than $300. And yeah, I claimed it. Okay, so get into if you are a brand new seller and you've made a few bucks, claim them. Okay, if you've made them for 2023, you don't have to claim that till next year. Okay, but if you are in North America, I believe the tax deadline is sometime in April. It is in Canada. I don't know, but let me know down below when the tax deadline is. Okay. Before we get into that, let's talk about the webinar. And sorry, excuse me, got cats. I've got cats. Before we talk about taxes, let's talk about the town hall / webinar, whatever you want to call it, meeting that happened on March the 6th, which was Monday, a couple nights ago, where TPT officially welcomed Paul Mishkin. I wrote his name down. Let me find it here. Yeah, Paul Mishkin, who is the CEO of IXL. Okay, IXL is a fairly good-sized company. They have 1,000 employees. They acquired Rosetta Stone, a language learning company. I think they took over vocabulary.com, education.com. They own a few. I'll try and put a screenshot here and TPT is now officially added to that. So the meeting didn't last long. It was under 30 minutes. I will try and put a replay link down below if you want to watch it. In all honesty, it felt awkward. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Paul seems very, very nice. And it's funny, if you've been around TPT for a long time, the founder of TPT's name was Paul. So on one of the Facebook groups, they're calling him the new Paul. But he seemed very nice. And he made it very clear that he has no plans of changing TPT. He has no plans right now to make it a subscription like IXL is. Ouch! Ow! Thank you. That was nice of you. So no foundational changes are going to be made. But he did say he'd like to make TPT better. What will that look like? Time will tell, okay? Joe was there saying kind of goodbye. There was an email that also went out. I think it came today or yesterday, I can't remember. Joe just saying goodbye because he's now this is a normal thing. Whenever a company acquires a new business, well, first person to go is the current CEO. So that's nothing new, okay? One of the things that they said directly, there's no plans to change the pay structure, no plans to switch over to a subscription model. Ads are removed, no foundational changes. School access is still happening. They said it's going to be postponed to later in the spring. One of the things they were also talking about is marketing, specifically parents and homeschoolers, which I have experience with IXL. IXL is a good company. They work a lot with homeschoolers, and when I was a home support teacher, I had families using IXL, so I got to see it in action, and it was a pretty good, well-run program. So the fear I hear in people on some of the Facebook groups, is everything going to now be, subscription because IXL is? No. IXL owns companies that are not subscription based. So that doesn't mean just because IXL is subscription, TPT will be. I don't think this guy will do that. I think he just comes across. I was feeling at ease with him. They also talked about. Hold on, I got notes everywhere. But they are looking at better search, marketing. There was something else they were talking about. Oh, the conference that they had in New York. If you live in the New York area, TPT's office is not changing. That's all staying the same. They're not looking to amalgamate things. Another thing with business is, even though Paul Mishkin is being the CEO of TPT, he will probably hire a new CEO. Again, that's the way businesses are run. People, when companies take over or acquire another company, they usually bring in a few new people. Okay, again, it's no hard feelings. It's nothing personal, right? It's how business works. So, yeah. Anyways, it just felt a little bit uncomfortable listening to some of them. They were reminiscing, and you kept thinking, what are they going to say? They didn't say, other than they just reminisced. It was fine. But yeah, like I said, I'll put the link below, and you can check that out. Okay, so let's move on to taxes. Taxes. Let me just start with this. If you have not been saving anything for your taxes for 2022, if you made any income in 2022, get on it. You need to set up yourself a filing system right away. Whether it's going to be digital or paper. I usually keep all my receipts. I have in my Gmail account, I do a couple things. One, every time I buy something that is for my business, I have a folder that just says 2022 business receipts. I separate my personal stuff with my business. So I highly recommend you do that. If you have any paper receipts, put them somewhere separate. In fact, what you could do is just take pictures of them, again, file them somewhere safe and where you're going to find them. I've done this where I can't find things. No. I got plants here. This is the other one. Hello, say hello. There we go. Yep, I got plants over there. I'm always like, they like to grab at them. You've got to have a filing system in place. You've got to keep track of your receipts. And there's lots of receipts, okay? Because it's not just earnings. You can write off expenses as well. Make sure your expenses are logical, okay? They're not something random. They have to match the business and everything else. One of the things you can write off is clip art, but again, you can't just buy a whole slew of clip art and not use it and write it off as an office expense. You've got to be, again, sensible. Are you actually using these things, okay? What I would recommend you do is every single month, pick a day, just one day in the month, and you spend a good hour writing things, putting something that I have a spreadsheet. I will try and maybe put a picture in here somewhere where I have income and I have expenses and I put all my expenses there, and then I also have a separate one of home expenses, because depending on where you live, the state, the territory, the province, you might be able to write this off, okay? Where I live in British Columbia, because I do a lot of my business right here in this little office, which is about 100 square feet, this portion I can write off, okay? But again, that means I need to track every single month's utility bills and then take a percentage. For example, if this house is, let's just say this house is 1,000 square feet, okay? And this room right now is 100. It's not, but let's just use that as an example. That's 10%, okay? So I keep track of all my gas, my utilities, my insurance, all those things. And then I can claim 10%, because 10% keeps this room lit and warm and all these things, okay? Again, you've got to keep track of it. Do not try and guess this, okay? You've got to have evidence of things, because at any time they can audit you, okay? Normally, I learned years ago that you should be keeping your income taxes for 7 years. I got audited. I've been audited twice. One, I was audited for some things that I claimed, and they said, can you give us copies of it? And I did. I just shot them off because I kept my copies, okay? One of the things you want to be careful with, and this is something I've noticed as of the last couple of years. For example, as a teacher, I go into Dollarama, I buy some things. I'm allowed to claim some of these things as school supplies, right? If they're consumable. But if I buy something in January and by December it's fading, right? How do I prove that that was the amount, right? So if you need to, take a picture of it. Keep track of all your income, all your earnings. And if you are selling on multiple platforms, I keep them all separate. Like I have a spreadsheet for just Boom, spreadsheet for TPT, right? I have YouTube, and YouTube is a whole different animal. I ended up last year, because of the earnings that I make right here on YouTube, and I have to make a claim with the IRS, being Canadian, I hear IRS and going, right? I actually got a chartered accountant involved to make sure that I was filling my taxes correctly, okay? It is worth the couple $100 to do your taxes correctly, okay? I normally use TurboTax. I don't know if you have TurboTax in the States, but I use TurboTax, and then you can hire someone to look at your taxes, and they did. And they said, is there something specific? And I said, yes. I have a side business making this much money, and I have this document, this tax form from the IRS. So I need to make sure, or not from the IRS, from YouTube, or it's Google. And so I want to make sure I fill things out correctly. You want to make sure the right numbers go on the right lines, okay? And if you're doing your own taxes, again, if this is brand new to you, it's pay the money and get someone to look at it. And I always ask how much experience they have with digital resources and digital income, because you want people who know the right lines, the right tax exemptions, all those things, okay? And just big disclaimer, I am not an accountant. I just do my own taxes. I don't do anyone else's. I just do my own. And again, I get someone to check them. Thankfully, they've been right. First year, again, under 300, I had to just do a simple form. And because of the amount was so small, I couldn't really claim expenses and all that other stuff. But last year, making a couple $1,000, now I had a situation where I could claim even depreciation on that, the equipment. I just bought a brand new camera, things like that. There's lots to it. And a person, if you're in the States, and this is feeling a little bit overwhelming for you, there is an Instagram account. I will put the handle here, and then I will put a link down below. She calls herself the TPT. What does she call herself? The TPT tax. I can't remember. Anyways, I think she's an accountant. Whatever. Okay. I would go to her if you're American. Find somebody. If you're not sure, don't guess. Let's do this right. If you want a legitimate business, then treat it legitimate, treat it morally, ethically, take care of it right. There's a lot of things as a chartered accountant, CPA, whatever you call them in your area, they know a lot of information that you probably won't. I don't know some of it every so often, and I love learning about it, but that doesn't make me an expert on it. So utilize people. Next year, the IRS has asked that TPT and any of the other platforms, so whether you're selling on Classful, Made by Teachers, Etsy, Boom, if you earn over $600, they will issue a 1099-K, okay? This year and the years prior, or 2022 and the years prior, it was $20,000. Next year, or this year actually, the 2023 tax season, it will be $600. I don't know what they do with Canadian ones. Also, if you're Canadian, you've got, and some of the states you have to look at sales tax. exemptions, right? So there's sales tax that you can claim. So all these things, don't wait last minute. If you haven't done any of it, I don't know if you're on spring break coming up. We're on spring break, hallelujah. And I'm just finding those last receipts to make sure I didn't forget anything, right? Conferences, if you attended the TPT conference last year, you can claim that. Internet, there's all sorts of things you can claim. Check out this gal that's on Instagram. She has a freebie on TPT. I think she has a freebie on TPT about just a quick TPT taxes or something like that, okay? And that'll help you. But again, it doesn't give you all the answers, but it will help you get started. Okay, so again, you made $10, $5, $1, claim it. All right? Okay, yeah, spring break. I am so looking forward to spring break. Let me know if you're on spring break and when you're on spring break and what your plans are for spring break. I am going to do some work. I haven't done a lot of work this year at all. I think the illness, my ear. Thank you for all those lovely comments. Oh, you warmed my heart with my ear, and some of you emailed me. Thank you. Yes, it's been looked at a couple times, 3 times. You know, I'm on antibiotics. They say it could be 5 to 6 months. It just is. I'm just dealing with it right now. I'm going in for an audiology, I don't know, a hearing test. Some days I feel like I can still hear fine, and other days I'm like, I can't hear nothing. It's plugged. But anyways, yeah, I got people on it. They're helping me. We're working on it, okay? Some of the videos that are coming up, so we're going to go back to creating a quality product. I didn't finish it. I didn't forget about it. It's still coming. It's still being done in parts. So I'm going to be doing that. I will be doing a TPT store review. I have not a long list. I've got a good size list. I will probably do one more over spring break. I'm actually going to film a few ahead because I find depending on my week with my ear, I just am not motivated at all to film sometimes, and that's not good. And because I like this, and I really enjoy this community. I love spending time with you. So I will probably batch a few videos. I'm hoping. I've got a day plan to batch. I'm going to be taking a couple days off. I'm just looking forward to sleeping in just a little. It's been a crazy school year, and it's not over. We're going all the way to June 30th. Oh, my heart breaks. June's going to be tough. June might be... I won't speak that into existence. June might be tough. Anyways, wherever you are in the world, I hope you are staying safe, being healthy. And we'll catch you in that video if you haven't seen it, or the playlist. There's lots there. And if you have a request for a video that you would like to see, feel free to comment down below. Take care.